Welcome back to Nobody Talks to Anybody When It's Necessary.
Oh, guys, you know what we just had? So guys, hold on. So guys, you know we just had a cutscene establishing that the faceless mooks are probably some of the most likable characters in this game. Yeah, let's get to taking them down now. Like, I get it, they're hunting us, but it's kind of a shame that we never get a scene of the heroes, you know, revealing to the faceless mooks, like, just how much of a sham this all is. Oh, mind you,
hold on. Get it later with Snow, remember?
Yeah, but even still, that scene doesn't really go anywhere. Like, they're still against us overall.
I guess at least an attempt is made, I suppose.
Okay.
And again, and to be fair, that's the most realistic outcome.
Hold on. I forgot if it's now or not. Yeah, I think it's now. Oh, goy.
No. The slap is not yet, if that's what you're
asking. No, it's not the slap. It's the checking.
Oh, yeah. Listen here. Yeah, you might want to explain who you are.
Where do I start?
From the beginning.
From the beginning, I guess.
I've got a few screws loose, but I'm a lessee, same as you.
I'm crazy.
Well, at least she actually is aware of it, unlike most of the other characters.
I know, right?
Born on Cocoon.
Dun dun dun.
So yeah, she is a pulse lessee.
Below, you all hate so much. My partner and I turned a
her partner and her.
And Fang and guys. And guys, Fang is an Australian accent. Who do we know also that has an Australian accent?
There you go. She just mentioned it. Somebody else.
So it wasn't supposed to be a big.
So there you go. Really. So there you go, Dibs. Pulse in this game, at least in the localized version, is basically Australia.
I mean that's fair. There's plenty of places that are analogs for.
Okay. You know what?
Places.
You know what? Given how dangerous Australia is in real life, that might have been actually the most clever thing this game does, making Grand Pulse to essentially be Australia.
And it's a localization.
Apologize to all Australians.
And it's a localization decision, for the record.
So basically, it's something we don't even give the original creators credit for.
We can still save them. We let loose and then bring the army to us. Draw their fire.
Hey, Hope, if you want to kill Snow, you.
Sentinel role, so
but
why
you
not?
didn't protect my mom.
Actually, that's the surprising thing, Dwibs. For this segment, Hope isn't on about that. In fact, he has clear shots to kill Snow, but just for some reason forgets that he wanted to.
That's fair.
So Hope's like, Hope's like, you are. Hope's like, you're so fucking dead.
Yeah, girl. I mean, Snow could just be talking about what he wants for dinner.
Hey, sure. As an appreciator of edginess, like, how edgy is his angstiness right now?
I've seen edgier.
Yeah, because I was about. Sorry.
Here's the problem with Hope. Like, well, for as edgy as the game wants to make him come off to be, he's still such a dork that
I was about to mention.
It just feels embarrassing.
There's no actual commitment to it. It's heavily scratched, but they don't actually go full through. Again, I did mention Drakengard 3 in the previous part. For all potential problems of bad comedy on that, they have a character that's kinda, sorta similar to Ope, but he's actually developed in a way that it gets so entertaining. He now at some point he just wants to destroy the fucking world.
All right, in my opinion, if Hope's edginess were an item, he'd be about as edgy as a pencil.
I guess you can occasionally get injured if it's sharp, I guess.
Dwibs. As the Joker showed, pencils can be quite sharp.
Well, I've seen John Wick as well doing this. So,
they can kill Spawn, apparently.
Yeah.
So, are you saying that he is very edgy then?
So basically, Tia, what you're saying is, if I ever run into Spawn, I have to hope that I'm at a stationary shop.
Okay,
it's
so
kind of better. Whatever.
this is the only instance in this entire game where we have a moment where we're kind of exploring a town, but
people around.
but there is nothing to do in here. There's no shops. There's no inns. There's literally nothing to do here. It's basically just a disguised hallway.
Mind you, story-wise, there is a good justification for because the characters are constantly on the run, and in this case, it's a quarantine city under martial law, essentially. But it's still, like it leaves a sour taste.
It gets to
Here's the problem. There are no NPCs to talk to. The shops, quote-unquote, are just these floating orbs, essentially, that you may come to, or whatnot. Like, yeah, you can technically do stuff, but what is there to do but just press forward?
Nothing. Oh, hey, Shiroi. Here's how things work apparently in this. Okay, hey, Shiroi, that kid is about to kill someone. Shall we do something about it?
Not my kid, not my problem.
Yeah, basically.
Fair enough.
That's basically Lightning's logic. At least
Parrot other people's kids. Even if they are doing a murder.
Oh God, it's this scene.
I think it's this.
You know
Look, a Carbuncle class sheet.
You know what's interesting? That's what gets the main characters in Seinfeld in the series finale arrested. Because they break them.
Wait, really? Because
Good Samaritan law. Good Samaritan law.
Okay, so Snow just punches that guy.
Remember, Jova, heroes don't need plans.
Okay.
So
To be fair, I can understand what he's trying to do. He wants to get the people out of here, and since he can't reason with them.
Too bad he's using Batman Odyssey logic.
Well, okay. To be fair, Tail, he's a pulseless C. People
Playing on their fear.
People won't listen to him because he's a pulseless C, so this is the only quick way he has of getting people out of here. So I can understand the logic here, to be fair. I mean, let's face it, if he tried to verbally tell them, they wouldn't listen to him.
Oh, you know what's sad, honestly? That's Snow again probably doing one of the smarter things out of any of the characters in this game. And yet he's supposed to be the idiot by the game.
He's still an idiot in a lot of ways, but I can understand this particular scene because, yeah, when you think about it, what else could he do really? Like if he, hey guys, could you please leave because things are about to get hairy and I don't want you guys to get hurt. Now, of course, people wouldn't listen to him because he's a prophecy. He's a quote-unquote enemy of Cocoon.
Again, that's my major problem with how the game treats Snow. Yes, he's an idiot, but everyone else is an idiot. He's the only one who gets constantly called an idiot by the story, even though arguably he's the most productive of any of these morons in getting stuff done. You
know what's interesting, Jova? I'm starting to feel like you feel about Snow the same way you feel about Fang in Feref and Seraph, on how you basically were saying the exact same thing. Oh, at least Fang is getting something done. What are you guys doing? Basically.
Pretty much. Like, yeah, look. You have a character who's an idiot? That's fine. But when the characters who are constantly berating said idiot do even less, or arguably act even more idiotic, then, well...
Oh, this,
There you go, see? That's basically it, see? Hope tried to talk that... Yeah, there you go, see? As you can see, yeah. That's why Snow had to use the gun, because they won't listen.
Wow, you just got knocked over by a little girl, Hope.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he's only 50.
I know, but the girl is even younger. Okay, Hope, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to say this.
Hope's younger and smaller than him by a lot.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to say this. Hope, it's time to turn in the man card. You know, it's time to... I'm sorry. I mean, I get that he's 15, but that girl is like 9.
Like, and that's the thing. This is Hope after supposedly becoming stronger after hanging out with Lightning, mind you.
Ice magic.
On the subject of Square Enix games that released in 2010, I think there's one. I'm not sure if we mentioned this. Have you guys played Kane and Lynch 2 Dog Days?
I have a copy, but it's stories. And it was part of the Eidos acquisition.
Yeah, okay, I'll put it this way. With the Kane and Lynch IP, Eidos were the most enthusiastic about it. But by the time Kane and Lynch 2 was in development, IO Interactive weren't so keen on it and just wanted to do Hitman. And unfortunately for them, Square Enix were also apathetic towards Kane and Lynch, and that was the last game in the series before they moved on to Hitman Absolution, which itself is its own can of worms, but that's neither here nor there. That was 2012.
All right. Now that being said, for even though I was indeed defending Snow earlier, he is about to do something. Well, both him and Hope are about to still do something stupid. Because let's face it. To be fair, it was Lightning's idea, but I'll talk about it after this scene.
Oh God.
You'll see. You'll see.
Hey,
You'll see. Hold on. Let's go.
now I remember. You're right. Come to think of it, yeah, we've got quite a segment of stupidity ahead of us.
Basically.
Is a focal point.
Yeah, basically, you may remember how Lightning told Hope that the best course of action is to go to his father. Snow apparently agrees because he's about to escort him there. Now, as Jova said in our original run, and I quote him, why would they do that? Wouldn't that just draw the attention of the military towards Hope's dad's house? And I told him, yep, that's exactly what's going to happen. And Jova's exact response, and I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly,
yeah,
so because the
some of our original run of 13 was me ironically calling stuff before it happened because I just had to think of the dumbest thing that could happen, and lo and behold, I was a psychic. It happened in this game.
So yeah, even though I was defending Snow just earlier, yeah, he's complying with the stupid plan that Lightning and by extension Hope came up with apparently. So even he's not safe.
Now, I know what someone may be asking. Oh, but isn't it the only thing for Snow to do? Actually...
Not really.
No.
Can't you just run away somewhere else? I mean...
Granted, I get it. The idea is essentially to try and get Hope back to his father. Here's the problem. I'm pretty sure that was the plan before Hope got ousted as a public lessee. And don't you think that his family's house might be one of the first places that they'll check?
A better alternative that Snow can potentially know but Lightning does not is that Snow is in contact now properly with the cavalry. Can't he just, ask them to pick up,
I guess. Level start. Section starts. Hold on. Section ends.
It's like the
What was even the point?
Also,
like the quiet
I can do something.
I also like to bring back something that Shiro said specifically here when I was saying, I'm sorry, Joe, but the characters are morons. And Shiro said, and I quote, speaking of them being morons, why are they taking a break now when there's like an angry mob after them? Yeah,
to be fair, they're on top of a really tall building.
Still pretty
True, but what if more of the mob are in said building?
But the army's also after them, though, and the army can get here.
Come to think of it, why weren't more of the flying goons after them?
Apparently they exhausted their options.
Those ships were it.
The sea don't have family.
Hey, listen to me, kid. I'm an orphan. I barely got to know my family.
Oh, how nice to know. I look forward to that barely factoring into the plot.
Or more like nothing at all. Like, seriously. Snow being an orphan has literally nothing to do with anything in any of the free games.
Don't you see, he's conveniently an orphan so that he can also know what it's like to be without family, because that'll help Hope calm down.
See, Shiro, this is what I was saying in the previous part, that I could literally dissect every cutscene by how much of a train wreck it is in basic script writing. The writers literally just told us something about Snow, but that doesn't have anything to do with anything. It will never be brought up again. They just tell us he's an orphan, but that is not relevant to anything.
Why did they shoot the sign?
Oh, look at that! The actual, aerial part of the army actually has arrived again.
But why did they? But Jova has a point, though. Yeah. Why did they shoot that?
I got a theory, Jova.
Go on.
What?
That sign was advertising a sale. But that specific army guy had to miss the sale because of his army work, and just like everyone else in this particular universe, he is an idiot and decides to shoot the wrong thing.
Also,
Or here's the
despite
real
being-
reason, shot it because it's symbolic of how Hope is losing grasp of his family.
Also, despite Hope, decide to go way ahead and Snow to catch up, in battles they still fight together.
My reasons for you.
Well, to be fair, most of the game has been working like that. To be fair.
True, but this is one of the major points of major story segregation, where Hope is just running wildly because of his more angstiness. At least at the beginning, as Snow was catching up. If it started having fight like now, where they actually the two got caught up, it would have
Okay,
made
that was
more
barely
sense.
any time at all for you to react.
Yeah.
But right at the beginning, but yeah, that's another thing, Libs. If you don't use the Decepticons, you're almost guaranteed of having to fight enemies when you come in contact.
Well,
because trying to avoid them once they spot you is nearly impossible due to the corridors being relatively, small in size.
I guess
so
the
you need
idea-
to basically maneuver.
I guess the idea is exactly that, to literally make you feel like you're being hunted.
Okay.
I don't mind that. I'm someone who normally doesn't run away from fights in an RPG, so I normally don't mind that. But I do understand that it's kind of pointless, unless, of course, you use the Decepticon. And even then, it's not guaranteed, because the space between enemies can be still little, and somehow their hitbox differentiates between each type of enemy. Sometimes one is as much as in contact, that you can actually go against. Another has like an aura that you cannot actually touch unless you want to trigger the fight.
Theo did raise a good point about the story and gameplay story segregation, though. Keep in mind, this is probably the closest thing that a Final Fantasy game made by David Cage would feel like. A game that definitely wants you to feel heavily immersed into the world to the point where it tries to integrate its gameplay with its story. Problem is, when they do stuff that blatantly goes against the story, it's jarring when otherwise this game has felt like an interactive movie. Like I mentioned, Hope being able to keep up the fighting perfectly in the overfield gameplay and doing all that acrobatic stuff when he could barely so much as just crawl over a ledge at that point in the story is weird. Sal's being able to do it suddenly is weird. Hope going ahead of Snow but suddenly teleporting back for the battles is weird. Maybe in a game that wasn't trying to be as much an interactive movie, it wouldn't feel as weird. But no, they clearly want you to feel immersed, yet it feels like they kind of half-assed it at this point.
The only thing that's missing are the branching choices that do not matter in the end. Oh wait, that's what happens in 13-2.
Yep. Oh boy, the 13 franchise, where we only make the best of decisions.
Definitely. Let's take a... definitely. Especially for Lightning Returns. People are complaining that Lightning is too stoic and a boring character. What are we gonna do for Lightning Returns? Let's literally remove all personality and emotions out of her.
Make it a plot point.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. It's an actual plot point in Lightning Returns. It's not even like a writing thing. The game will even say that God took away her empathy. They literally say it.
Okay.
Those poor voice actresses.
Okay. If they were trying to go for something like, Prince of Persia 3, the Two Thrones, and how that tried to address the problems of the warrior within, they could have had something good going there, because no. Prince of Persia 3 is probably one of the master ways of how you not only address the problems of a previous game, but integrate them in a way that improves them as well in the sequel. Shame Lightning Returns was the exact goddamn opposite of that, because they only made it arguably worse.
Mind you, I want to remind that the Two Thrones was supposed to be a completely different game at the beginning, even plot-wise, still a proper third sequel to the franchise, but something that had kind of a small different premise, and unraveling of events. Sure, at its core, it would have had the whole prince confronting his Dark Prince, counterpart, and addressing what he did in Warrior Within, but in a different way. And the development cycle was so troubled that it's kind of a miracle that the finished product turned into something that people enjoyed.
And it really does show how much they were willing to fix things to the point of bringing back Yuri Lowenfeld. Both it's not like they got rid of Prince of Persia 2's Prince voice actor completely either.
Well, no, it's there just for a one line at the beginning as a flashback. Remember, the Dark Prince is not voiced by Robin Akindahl in the final product. So, yes, Pedro?
Actually, no, I wasn't. But
I wonder, speaking of Prince of Persia, I wonder why. Let me get it up. I wonder why Forgotten Sands has a separate page for the Wii version.
I'll explain you later, because I did mention it previously, but hold on. This is actually important.
I wanted to ask you something.
How do you
About
like to
time.
die?
You say you want a family. What if they were taken from
Oh god.
Well then, I take him back.
And what if you couldn't?
Snow, do I need to literally pick some flags and wave them at you? Don't you see what's happening? He's literally giving you all the signs. Like,
Are you okay?
I wonder why this kid is asking me all these for specific questions.
Okay. Well, I do think Snow is not as
Also-
dumb as the cast makes him out to be. Yeah, this is just a case where he's being pointed
Not to
out.
mention he blatantly insulted Hope with this, but whatever.
Okay, that said, I feel like, again, this is just contrived writing, because Snow has acted more capable in the head in prior moments here.
By the way, Lives, I hope you like this boss because you have to fight it like 3 times in a row or something.
So it's like that boss. It's like that level in Mega Man X6, but stretched out over a whole game.
And I wouldn't mind if the boss actually was, pleasing to the eye, but this particular robotype is just weird.
look at that thing.
It's the
Ushumgal.
It's the Ushumgal Subjugator! How terrifying!
But continue, Jova, sorry.
Again, you're using Snow's stupidity wrong. Okay, look. With how the game has established him, Snow's form of stupidity is essentially, he's a hardhead. He can rush into some things without thinking the most. That being said, aside from maybe the incident with Nora, and that wasn't really his fault because those people were probably going to die either way, so at least he was able to save some still, his stupidity has not really been as damaging as people make it out to be. That's the thing, Sarah becoming a Lassie was not his fault. He was trying to fix it. And yeah, sure, Sarah getting snapped up by the Fal'Cie may have kind of been his fault, but that was only because the alternative was her being shot dead by the military who was on their tails.
Oh boy.
So again, the minute somebody thinks up of a better plan, please tell
We need
me.
to take a break. Why don't we do it over there?
Oh god, this cutscene.
All right, let's have some
Look, a
refreshments.
sheep.
All right, Liz, now prepare yourself because now the
Give
angsty.
energy drink to a minor.
Hey, Shiroi, remember what you said in this exact scene? Back in the first run? You said, and I quote, "This is literally a soap opera right now." You said.
Ready for a,
See,
Any soap opera in particular?
ready for a tonal shift? You see, I used to hang out with my mommy by this very
My mom is dead.
murder this man.
Basically,
This is kind of a waste for this kind of characterization.
basically, his angstiness is
Thanks for including Troy Baker burping.
basically his angstiness is accumulating so hard that Hope is literally about to explode. I'm not even kidding when I say that.
Maybe not so long.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's another thing to talk about, how the brand expands.
Well, they're gonna talk. Fang is gonna explain that later. Hold on.
That is true, actually.
Fighting.
Yeet!
Nice shot.
Nice shot.
People around you involved.
That wasn't his fault.
Yeah, right here, sure. This is where you said it in the original run.
End up ruining.
What if someone dies? What then, son?
So is Hope gonna clothesline him over the bar?
That's the thing. The game is actually going to act like Hope is right about Nora's death being Snow's fault, when it wasn't.
She volunteered. I've said this before, and I'll continue saying it, even though the game refuses to acknowledge that.
but we
And
need
again-
drama, so we're gonna get drama.
Dying, you just want
Again, regardless of what she chose,
And Jova,
going
and
to die anyway.
there you go, Jova. See, even Snow is now starting to buy into this bullshit that it's his fault. See?
I hate this plot point. I mean, it was bad already, but it gets even worse when more characters start buying into it.
Oh, there you go.
You're running from what you deserve. Why don't you tell me what I
Man, this is so melodramatic. Like, there you go. See, he literally just. There you go, bro. See,
This is the moment.
angsty explosion.
And this is the moment where Hope's Eidolon shows up, right? Nope.
No, you'd think this would be
You
the.
would think.
And let me remind everybody, the game clearly established that when
Prepare to die.
you killed my mother, prepare to die.
Wrongs, though. This is not
Lightning
a
man.
brutality. It's a
fake.
fatality.
But look at that, dudes. And just at this very moment, missiles explode and they knock Hope down, and Snow has to save him.
Maybe if we had to compare it to anything, going back to Dwebs' question, maybe a Portuguese soap opera? I don't know.
Probably.
Seems wild enough.
By the way, yes, they survived this. Sure, they showcase that Snow is a bit, limping and stuff like that, but come on.
I don't know, Shiroi. I don't know, Shiroi. This is just melodramatic. My soap operas, aside from melodramatic, also go completely fucked up in its plot
And yeah,
points,
that was the end of the chapter, by the way.
which kind of makes it like
Day 5, Hope broke his spine and Snow broke his skull.
no.
Okay, this cutscene is actually important because now we're about to see what happened in day 5.
Yeah.
Forget our focus. We don't need it.
We don't need it. Look, if we don't figure it out and pull it off, you're gonna be a thief.
A seaford?
Just making a kid that young.
Not that kind of thief.
It's not right.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Fang said that they needed to figure out what their focus was, but according to Vanille, they know that their focus is to make the boy LSC, so...
Like that girl.
Did I miss something in the writing there?
It doesn't matter what our focus is.
That's a thing, Joe, but this plot is the plot almost seems deliberately confusing.
But seriously though, Fang's saying they need to figure out what their focus is, but Vanille pretty much just said what their focus is.
Well, I don't know. Well, okay, the development, I'll talk about it later.
Yo, any ideas?
I need to rewatch it because we might have just missed how the line was specifically spoken. I'll need to release it later.
No. I definitely saw how it was spoken. Fang said that they needed to figure out their focus, and then Vanille says that, well, making the boy LSC just feels wrong, which implies that their focus has to do with making the boy LSC.
Well, we do know what... oh, there you go. We also know... Okay, it's a bit spoilery for Dweebs, but again, we do know what the truth is, both of us, so...
Even knowing what the truth is, that doesn't make that line any more clumsy.
That is true, but there is a reason behind it. It's not without logic.
I'm just gonna say it. That closing the door thing, Third of Cerberus did that better. I'm just gonna say it.
I mean, there was also more drama and context behind it, but it was not in danger of dying.
Yeah. Anyway, see, here's the thing, sure. At least, don't get me wrong, my soap operas are incredibly melodramatic, but they also have incredibly fucked up plot points that are just like make them at the very least a spectacle to behold, a horrifying spectacle, but a spectacle nonetheless. This is just lame. Just.
Okay,
well, I mean, we too have had our really fucked up storylines in our
like Doctor Who.
Dwebs. Okay, Dwebs, let me ask you something. Did any of your soap operas have a plot twist where it's
why it made her a lessee.
Okay.
We messed up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, here you go.
Why?
But well, remember, it was because of
also,
Fangin's.
With that.
Well, remember. No, to be fair, yeah, it's true. Remember, Joe, it was because of Fang and Vanille that all of their lives got on the destruction path because it was all because of them coming here in the first place to do their focus stuff. So.
I will mention what I meant specifically later, but if I don't agree, there's something else that's about to happen.
Remember, Jova, without spoiling anything for Dwebs, we already established in the first run that pretty much everything in this game is Vanille's fault. So
yes, absolutely. Though Vanille's the one who doesn't get slapped eventually.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, trust me. I would love to see someone slap Vanille.
Change anything.
Exactly. See, Lightning. I hope you learned something today. But I like this line here.
Tell that to my jaw.
It
Okay.
It's not now. I keep forgetting where specifically it is.
Alright, so what are you gonna say, Pedro?
Hold on. Well, actually, this is a gameplay part. Okay. Let me just read the name of the area. I think there's a thing that shows up here.
You were saying about the soap
No,
opera.
don't worry. Just give me a moment so I can read this.
We'll head through that gate.
Right.
Oh god, I thought they were gonna show Felix sights on the thing. Okay. Well, the point is, Dwips. Okay, question, Dwips. Did you ever have a soap opera like the one in my country, where there's a mystery about this main character, this female main character, who wants to know who the father of her child was because she was raped at the beginning of the. I'm not making this up, by the way. This is actually a storyline. She was raped at the beginning of the storyline, but there's this mystery about who the father was, who exactly, and then it turns out, Dwips, she was raped by her own father. So her father is also the father of her child.
Well, I mean, there was a soap opera called El Dorado, and one of its very first episodes, I think the very first episode, has a storyline beginning in it, where a man who looks like he's in his early 60s married someone whose actress was a 17-year-old.
Okay, that's admittedly fucked up, but I will still argue my soap opera is more fucked up.
Also, what I was specifically referring before, why did you associate the slap with the iconic, but it's iconic to the franchise, mind you, shot of the doves flying into the distance? Like it's super iconic to the franchise, mostly used to symbolize either like a whimsical moment or a panning shot of a big background, like establishing a setting. And here it's used as a reaction kind of shot after lightning slaps away Fang. Like, why?
I don't even.
So anyway, so as the datalog is mentioning, the reason that this suggests that Sarah will eventually turn back is like, well, see, back in that time, Fang's mark was practically scorching, and usually when it gets to that point, that usually means you're close to being a sieve. But apparently now Fang's mark has suspiciously now retracted.
Yeah, and the reason what happened with that was more of an accident because Kujata defended as an act because he intercepted, the presence of Fang and Vanille, and he recognizing them as a potential danger. So
that line about them trying to figure out their focus, now that may not be connected to Josh becoming a lessee. The problem is that the way the line was scripted made it seem like Vanille did know their focus and that making Dodge a lessee was part of it.
Right.
That seems to be the why is also how Fang came in contact with Sid off screen, essentially.
Yes.
Whoops.
The writing is really bad.
That wouldn't have been an important scene to show, I'm sure.
So Shiro, what do you think? Shiro, what do you think of the soap opera?
Yikes.
Well, I don't know, Shiro. Like I said before, my soap opera has way more yikes than this one does.
Yeah. I mean, to be
Oh no, I
fair,
thought you were talking about yours.
Yeah,
That's
I mean-
what
No, this one. No, this one, the one we're watching right now.
pretty tame in comparison, you know.
Yeah. To be fair, well, a lot of stuff in this game so far has been kind of eyebrow raising. None of them have been as icky as 60-year-old guy.
Oh no, definitely.
Marrying someone who's 17.
Oh no, definitely does. Our issues with that, it's not so much that it's fucked up. It's more so the fact that the story is stupid, and that's when it's not being confusing.
So anyway, it turns out that Fang has amnesia. Because apparently Sarah was chosen by the Falsi to keep out of focus that she and Vanille supposedly no longer remember. Which is... So you see, you know how we were confused about that line about them trying to figure out their focus? Now we have the data to explain that they have amnesia.
See, the thing...
we couldn't have known from that cutscene alone.
See, the thing is... Fang's amnesia isn't even like an unnecessary device to accentuate, information like Jova was suggesting for the characters to have amnesia before. No, Fang's amnesia in this game is just there so that we can have a moment with her and Vanille later in Pulse. Really, basically.
And that's the thing, honestly, why even bother giving amnesia? Just have it be that they're still trying to figure out their focus because, as it's been established, the Falsi kind of suck at giving out their orders as it is. But no, it turns out Fang and Vanille actually did know their focus at some point, So the writers needed to give them amnesia to help prolong the plot.
Okay, Dwips, here's what it is. I have a task for you to perform, Dwips. In order to know what... Here, so you know exactly what to do. Here's a picture of someone's knee. There you go. There you go. Now go and do it.
The picture hasn't come up yet.
It's a metaphorical picture, Dwips. Just roll with the joke, please.
Here's a picture of a knee. Now go do it.
That's enough for you to know what you're supposed to do, right? So, go on.
If it involves breaking it, then sure.
Alright.
What if he said you're a chiropractor?
Alright, now
Break it.
alright, now we're going to also get that's kind of important.
Hey.
Oh, now she's using a motor. Oh no, never mind. It's the same one.
No, it's still the same. Still
Hey,
your model.
Hey, you don't have any
We
knee
just have to
problems
believe that.
anymore.
Alright, let's see.
Hey, Fang. The others are safe, right?
Oh, now you care?
Caught.
Oh, right, because you've had your magical character development.
Yeah, they would. They'd have to let everyone know that the big badless sea can't hurt them no more. These cocoon people, bunch of cowards and blowhards.
These cocoon people have spent centuries under foul sea law, in constant fear of a pulse invasion. If it weren't for Sarah, I'd have been out there too, hunting Lassie. Would have been nothing but targets to me.
Oh,
But now
edgy.
that I've grown up and realized the wrong of my ways, now they're no longer just targets to me.
Floating nest of vipers.
Yeah, and
Turns out wasn't that different.
yeah, and turns out everybody in Pulse also agreed that everybody in Cocoon were evil Nazis, basically. So the two nations basically hated each other and had wrongful misconceptions of each other, basically.
Maybe Graham Pulse. Maybe Graham Pulse play.
And it's because the False are fucking assholes, basically.
Maybe
Again,
Graham
I
Pulse.
would have way more at the end with all mythos.
Maybe Graham Pulse just played Xenogears and got a bad idea of the people up in
Yeah,
the
well, I would have mentioned that as well. Don't worry.
Which means we must.
So yeah, it turns out Fang and Vanille did complete their first focus because they've actually become Crystal
This is
before.
also why Fang's tattoo is actually that white.
I love how she asked, why can't I remember that part? Like, sure, yeah, the story will... Actually, no, the story doesn't come up with a reason why she asked.
She will only remember it when it's convenient for the plot, Jova.
Look, it's bad enough without the characters pretty much poking at it, but here they are, pretty much poking at it, so...
And there's my
Yeah.
hand. It's all messed up. Vanille and me, we lost our past and our focus.
Where'd you lose it? It's not our car keys, is it?
You want to find them? Be a pulse, Lassie.
Now I want to find my car
Enemy of
keys.
Cocoon.
There you
Take
go.
a shot!
Pulse and cocoon can rot for all I care. If I don't figure out our focus soon,
It's like
This
fuck,
is ridiculous.
like fucking,
Thank you, Toriyama.
like fucking clockwork. It's like fucking clockwork. I just think.
Well,
We're
it
trying to
wasn't...
have a moment here, but no.
I love how Lightning's face just pretty much sums up how you guys are feeling at this point.
I'm curious, Shiro.
I've seen the one where it's doing something.
I'm curious, Shiro. What's ridiculous specifically?
This whole like we're having a moment and then suddenly panty shot.
Oh, that, yeah. Well, Shiro, remember who directed this game, so.
Well, hold on, but that's the thing. Toriyama normally does the butt shots.
Oh no, he does all the shots, Joe. Remember, in 13-2, there's plenty of cleavage shots of Sarah. Like he does all the shots, Joe.
Here's the weird thing, though. There is actually a moment in this game where he has a clear chance for a cleavage shot with Lightning, but decides to avert it for some reason.
Yeah.
That's his special waifu.
Yeah, he's
The cleavage, only I can!
exactly, Joe. But like Lightning is his waifu. Only he gets to look at her beautiful body, not us. Like we can all look at Fang's body, Sarah's body, Vanille's body. No. But Lightning, no. Lightning belongs to Toriyama. So
he exposed her to high heaven come the sequels.
Literally.
Then again, I guess we could maybe chalk that up to part of Square being desperate to sell copies after this game undersold.
See, right here, allow me to quickly recap to you Toriyama's history of this thing. First, there was that thing in the original Final Fantasy VII where he wanted that whole subplot thingy with the panties of Marlene, a little girl for the record, but Sakaguchi eventually was there to tell him, no, fuck off.
Yeah, like, that was a literal child.
And then in 10, and then in 10, where he was the cutscene director, where there was all those butt shots, you know. And then we have 10-2, which, well, 10-2 speaks for itself, but I'll continue after this cutscene.
Alright, I think it's now, finally.
Did you see Vanille's
and now Lightning's okay with Fang calling her Light now, which is like...
We have to rush
I guess
we have to rush for the story, Jova. Sorry.
I'm weirded out that they became friends that much, because usually Lightning only lets friends
actually, this is a plot point. The brand actually does expand the more time passes, like an ice forming.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. It's actually a cool detail because you actually do get to see it on the characters that do show.
And once again,
and this dozen fanfics spontaneously bursted.
Yes,
Lightning.
Yes, very good on the mark there.
It's two things. One, of course, Toriyama will put Lightning's blood on her boobs, and second, and all this so that you can tell. Toriyama would love to put his own character model that he made of himself. Looking at that, like it's just like
honestly, it's kind of a surprise that he didn't just, Well, okay. We know why they made Fang female, fine, but still, though, almost makes you wonder. It almost makes you wonder if Fang was originally going to be his insert character.
This guy is so disgusting. I just think.
Without Sarah, without a future, there's nothing to plan for.
Okay, this is the problem. Yes, Lightning apparently really cares for her sister, but we never really get the big sense of it other than just that it's just something she's hunting for.
Jova. It's the same. It's like I said. It's literally just like Mako and Bolin. We never get to see that so-called past that we're told about.
That's also the thing, Pedro.
This is worse. This is worse. At least with Mako and Bolin were characters enough. So, despite us not getting to see the past, I could at least get Mako wanting to care for Bolin because we had gotten to see enough of their relationship. Lightning and Sarah? The most we've seen of their relationship is Lightning being an absolute dick to Sarah.
And I'm not kidding here, Dwebs. Throughout this entire trilogy, we have Lightning and Sarah talk to each other a total of like 5 times. I am not even kidding.
Not just that,
this trilogy supposedly being about their relationship.
At least for this very first game, Sarah is just a prop.
Yep.
Featured at the beginning and a MacGuffin towards the entirety of the game. And I know that she's supposed to be a reference to Princess Sarah from Final Fantasy I, but come on, guys.
Also, Dwebs, no, remember.
I guess you could say that they tried to fix that by making her playable in the sequel.
Yeah, that is something that I legitimately did appreciate, despite all the problems of Vertin 2.
Given what happens at the end.
Also, Dwebs, remember, Snow has a superpower trench coat according to the Final Fantasy Wiki, so no, he gets off scot-free with not even a single scratch. That being said,
so I love how he's the one who gets up first despite him taking the brunt of the fall.
Remember, superpower trench coat. That being said,
that's the thing, though. He clearly is actually more damaged than
like we established in the early parts, it's not exactly the trench coat, but more like the device that he's having on his left arm. Sorry.
And the Hope should have at the very least
power. The coat
should be durable. Yeah. Hope really should be.
Yeah, Hope doesn't have a single scratch on him. It's amazing. Okay, and this is the primary problem. You see, Toriyama, if your characters keep consistently surviving long, deadly falls like this, don't you see how you destroy the dramatic tension? Why should I even fear for the character's safety? If I know they can survive pretty much everything.
With Final Fantasy VII, it was kind of cute that Cloud survived the East Fall because there was the Battle Flower, even though arguably that was a bit weird, the fact that they managed to push on the fall.
So that's where Kingsman 2 got its inspiration.
But it was just one fall, and that was kind of pretty much it. In here, the characters just yeet themselves over high places all the time.
Yeah, and it gets to a point where the player stops caring altogether, because why should I? Why should I be concerned? Because no matter what happens to them, I know they can just get up immediately like it was nothing. So why should I fear for them?
Okay, does anyone get blown up and then piece back together?
Not
no.
Actually, but we have something that can potentially, to a proxy kind of level, fit your description, Dweebs, but it's kind of complicated and happens at the very end of the game.
Oh, but yeah, honestly, this story as a whole, it just fails at stuff. Not only conceptually, but in tonal shifts too. Like, mind you, we go immediately from a somewhat comedic scene to immediate drama with Hope trying to kill Snow, to suddenly Lightning and Fang chatting it out, to Lightning apparently being friendly enough with Fang to say, "Oh, call me Light," because, again, it's established that only the people close to Lightning get to call her Light. So, what the heck is even going on at this point?
I just love...
Sorry, go on.
I just love... that I just want to go back through that previous scene where Hope explodes, and how else am I supposed to interpret that aside from the fact that he explodes? Okay, so his angstiness becomes so full of angstiness that finally he reaches breaking point and he explodes and lets all the angstiness out. That's
sorry, go on.
And that being said, like Teo was saying, yes. Allow me to remind everybody, the game clearly established, both via plot and the data log, that when OSC gets to a point where his or her emotions, they're at their breaking point. They're like at their big desperation point. That's when their eidolons come out. So you'd think that would be the point where Hope's eidolon comes in, and then maybe Snow helps him overcome that eidolon, and that's how they maybe make kiss and make up. Maybe no. Now, so probably wondering, Dwebs. Well, if this is not the place where Hope gets his eidolon, then where is it? Let's just say, Dwebs.
There has to be a good reason for that.
Let's just say, Dwebs. They pick a very weird, out of nowhere, random place to give him his eidolon, but you'll see.
Honestly, that's not what I've been wondering throughout the recent part.
What have you been thinking?
Go on.
Like I said before, I've been thinking seriously. There's so many parallels between this and Kingsman 2. It's scary.
I know, right?
Also, there's one question, just out of curiosity, because again, this is a detail that was only showcased in one or two minor cutscenes, so I want to see if you potentially paid attention. Throughout this particular level, what kind of city do you think Palum Porum is supposed to be?
Palum Pom.
No, not with the name. The kind of city. Visualize.
I'd say Tokyo.
No. I'm not saying sort of a parallel. Like, what kind of city? This city is supposed to be essentially a port, a coastal city on the water. And yet, pretty much the entirety of the level don't really showcase almost anything of it. Maybe the beginning, where Hope and Lightning has to infiltrate in the sewers, but that's literally it. There's nothing that symbolizes that it's supposed to be a coastal kind of city, like, say, Balamb or Junon, No, nothing like that. That's so fucking weird, too.
I also love how... seriously, the melodrama of that, like, seriously, the cutscene is so melodramatic. You deserve, like I said, and then why don't you tell me what I deserve? And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, just
it's literally the plot. Sorry, it's literally the plot forcing all of its characters towards the finish line.
Not just that.
Come on, say the line. No matter how little it makes sense, say the goddamn line.
Not just that.
I'm just reminded how Snow is characterizing Lightning Returns, where they pull this kind of thing much better.
Not just that. The acting in that scene in particular, the overacting in that scene would make Tommy was so proud. I mean, seriously, like...
I did not hit her, Hope. That's bullshit. I did not hit her.
I did not kill her. I did not. That's basically...
By the way, how's your sex life?
Okay, just to finish off the explanation. Remember, Sherry. First, it was the OG 7 with with Maladin's panties. Then it was in 10, where for some reason that game has plenty of ass shots. Then in 10-2, let's just say, sure, 10-2 has a lot of Sailor Moon-esque elements to it.
Massage scene counts.
Well, the massage scene. Well, I didn't want to spoil it for her, but yes, sure, that is.
Why did you say or put it a massage scene?
No. I mean the transformations too, because it's all about.
Oh, okay.
But anyway. And then in 13 we have this, Shira, like you yourself said. We had a panty shot during what's supposed to be a serious moment. And then in 10-2 we have all those cleavage shots of Sarah. And then Lightning Returns, I'm not even kidding you, Shira. In Lightning Returns, the developers literally said in an interview before the game came out that they made a specific effort to make sure none of Lightning's outfits would show her underwear. I'm not kidding.
I hate that they had to specify that.
And that being said, sure, there's still plenty of skimpy outfits to dress Lightning with in Lightning Returns anyway.
That's okay, because none show her underwear. That makes it okay.
Jova. Like I said, Lightning's underwear is meant for only one person's eyes only. Motomo Toriyama, remember.
Besides, it has a PC port, meaning there's probably
you don't get to look at my waifu. She's mine. Oh, mine.
Toriyama mods. PC. Do the math.
Yes, basically.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, even without all the stuff they had to do with the underwear, that people will probably have done that anyway.
Yeah.
See ya.
See ya.
Yeah.
Yeah.